We are in turn 3 of this 4-turn scenario of Blitz in the East. This is the Axis turn as phasing player. And we are at the very beginning of the turn. Now, I have realized I made some mistakes when the Soviets have a unit surrender and go to the Hiwis box. The Axis are supposed to get some extra production for that. So I've tacked that missing production on here. And the Axis begin this turn with 23 goods because they had a lot of spoils of war goods collected on the last turn, and but only 4 oil. Fortunately for the Axis, their combats have been very effective, and so they only have 1 armor unit that needs to be replenished, and that is this 3rd Panzer Army here. And so by paying a good and an oil, you can replenish that, but the fact that that unit is in an upfront hex means that it's going to take 2 goods and 2 oil, but the Axis have what they need to do that, so that happens without too much distress. And although you're starting to see here very clearly how the Axis is going to, in the long game, would run out of oil pretty quickly. And so the Axis has a disorganized unit that they want to reorganize, and so that will cost an extra good on top of the good. So that will be 2 goods for this reorganization right there. And still plenty of goods left. Too bad there's no Settlers of Catan thing here, trade goods for oil. We've got enough goods, so they'll, I don't even know if I'm on the map here. There's a disorganized cadre back here. The Axis will go ahead and reorganize it just because why not? And then up in Finland, there's another disorganized cadre that they will reorganize for another good. They're not up front. The unit is way up there in the north. It's this Finnish unit. And I think that since the Axis has a plethora of goods, so I guess they've got a lot of available manpower here, I think that they should probably just go ahead and see how many of these units can be fighting in the next turn that could be upgraded, or that could be replenished, or refit, or whatever you want to think of it as. I believe that this Hungarian cavalry, it has to be what's called upgraded for 2 goods, and there is no upfront penalty there. And this unit, I wonder if no, that's not the unit. Where's the other unit that the Italians? Yeah, I wonder if I paid the correct number of goods for the Italians when I upgraded them. They're supposed to have been 2 goods. So I'm going to take an extra good off of the Axis for that sake. I like having this cavalry unit stay cavalry. I like those 4 movement points as opposed to 3. And I will definitely spend a good to bring this unit in Finland up. If nothing else, I can bring it into upfront position to help with the attrition phase. So that's a good for that. And are there any other units there? This unit and this unit can both end this turn adjacent to the Soviet unit, which will make them participants in the attrition phase. So I'll spend 2 goods for the Germans to replenish them. This unit cannot make it there, so there's no need to spend anything on this. This unit back here, the 11th, could potentially end up in combat up here, so we'll spend the good to replenish that. I kind of wonder if I've done something wrong here with the Axis having so many remaining full-strength units. This unit here may as well It's a mountain unit. May as well pop back up. It's not up front. The Axis has tons of goods. Well, we'll see. So that is the collection and expenditure of production points. And the next order of business is strategic rail movement. And the Germans have a couple of units that are in rail yards that may be able to sort of effectively become part of things. And so I'd have to decide which one to move. There's the 16th Army here, which is a pretty strong infantry army. Should have left one of these units back here, shouldn't I? So it could rail its way. It cannot end up here with the Italians, which is a shame because that's an upfront hex. But it could rail its way down here to Kharkov and become part of a force that might move down south. I have to think more on that, what I'm going to do with that. But in any case, that is the strategic rail movement that the Germans will conduct at this point. Now there is operational ground movement, and this is the phase during which if the unit stays in friendly controlled hexes and never becomes adjacent to an enemy unit, it can move for a single movement point per hex, no terrain penalties. And the places where that could potentially be helpful, these units want to end up in combat. This unit here, 1, 2, 3. So this unit could end up in combat, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It won't be able to make it there. It won't be able to get up there, but it's too bad that it won't. We would 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if it would have made sense to keep this unit up here and actually try a sort of out of nowhere attack against Leningrad. I could even go completely crazy, leave that there, and I could move this armor unit up here. You know what? I think that's what the Soviets will do. We're going to abandon the southern front. So this unit will undo its strategic rail move, and this armor unit will make a strategic rail move up to there. There will be no, they won't participate, they won't be part of the operational ground movement. This unit here, I think, is just going to go ahead and move into Lvov, so it could potentially be railed somewhere at the end of the next turn. That's operational ground movement there. And I don't believe that the Germans have any other ground units that they want to move prior to initiating combat, or prior to being able to initiate combat. There's an air unit here. It 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be part of a combat in Moscow. It couldn't be part of a combat in Yaroslav. I don't know if that matters much or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot be part of a combat here in Odessa, or in Sevastopol, rather. And so that might be, this unit might be better served by moving here. You see this line of Axis-controlled hexes. This city is not Axis-controlled, but they have moved through here, and so I'm going to move this here to indicate that this city is still under Axis control at this time. The Soviets may take it back. Excuse me, I haven't decided whether I think that would be worthwhile for the Germans to try to defend. I think I more need all hands on deck trying to see if I can crack Moscow up here. I don't know why I have this here. This is certainly not Axis controlled or anything. That was just a mistake. So, all right, so that is all of the administrative phase stuff. We've done the rail movement. We've done the operational ground movement, all the stuff. So I'm going to end this particular clip here and then come back for the ground movement and attrition phase. This is the ground movement phase, but I realized that the Germans would also want to operationally move this air unit so that it can be part of the fight in Leningrad. We're going to make a try for that. So they'll move this unit here. They have a unit available for Moscow and a unit available for Odessa. I guess if we end up trying to combat that hex, we've got an air unit that can reach there instead. So now it's ground units, now ground movement, regular ground movement, and I'm trying to identify hexes that are potential attrition claim hexes, and it seems that these two are the only relevant. Well, no, I guess this hex here could be. This could be claimed as an attrition hex, right? If a unit ends up here, there's no river, so there's that. Otherwise, there may be some hexes way back here that could be claimed, but I don't think that's in any way relevant. Oh, actually, this hex up here is claimable. Can't imagine we would want it, but we might. Give it a try. So we are now in ground movement phase, and so I'm looking to get as many Axis units up front as I can, and so that unit moves there for 2. This armor unit goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel pretty good about getting a unit there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do have some power arrayed there against Leningrad. I don't know if it'll be enough, but we'll see. We're going to try it. So the Italians here, they can spend 2 to move into the woods and 2 more for moving from one enemy zone of control to another. I'm going to stick that over there for now, which allows the Germans to move here. 1, 2, and that would be 5, so they cannot move there, but 1, 2, 3, so we've got that. These units here are crowding up on this out of supply unit. This unit moved operationally and cannot move. So we've got a lot of strength here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Do I want an armor unit out there? I think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. And now 1, 2, 3, and they'll stop there. And these armor units here can move. 1, 2. No, actually they have to stop, right? Because they move from a zone of control to a zone of control. 1, 2, 3, 4 to move here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 for moving out of the zone of control. 4, 5. I think I like the looks of that. I'll put this air unit back here where it belongs. Now, what to do about Odessa, Sevastopol? It seems like we will almost certainly finish this part of the Soviet defense off. Let's get these hex control markers out of here for now. They're distracting me a little bit. So by abandoning any move down here, we've given up the chance for a sudden death victory on turn 4, but that strikes me as being unlikely anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to become adjacent to this unit in Sevastopol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could end up with 9 infantry factors, but Sevastopol is a fortress, and I'm not sure that it does any good for me to even mess with that when I could potentially make some headway here, I think. So I think if I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this unit here has, oh no, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could make it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 for the Hungarians. Well, let's see. So we definitely want to bring a lot of pain to this Russian unit here. So let's start with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That unit makes it. These two units can then move up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, but I did say I wanted to get a unit in there for attrition claiming purposes, right? And yeah, the truth is, if I do claim that hex, that unit will then be available for ground combat. So here we have 1, 2 for moving out of the Zok, 3 and 4 to get in there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there. So if we fight that combat, we have the non-consecutive hex bonus. 1, 2, 3 is all I can get there, but that's probably worth it. 1, 2, 3. That gives starting strength of 10 to, well, it's 10 to 4. So that extra doesn't really make a difference, does it? Let's rethink that. 1, 2, that's where it was. I think that the Hungarian unit will make a simple move out there. That unit will move there. And so what to do with the Hungarians? I kind of wonder if I should 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I should have operationally moved them 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's just put them up here and see if that extra 1 ground factor makes a difference in the attrition count. And so that is the ground movement, and we now will have to, I'm going to have to go offline and do some counting of ground factors that are up front in order to calculate the attrition situation that the Soviets now face. Well, the Axis have put a lot of pressure on the Soviets here. The Axis have 98 ground factors in upfront hexes, and the Soviets have only 17. So this is the Soviet side. They get no air reactions, which they would love to have at least one of here. And the Axis starts on this column here, and they have armor and air superiority. So the Axis are going to be able to claim 5 hexes. They're going to inflict 5 hits on the Soviet forces, and they're going to be allowed to, oh gosh, I forgot to buy the offensive kit. They're going to be allowed to initiate 5 combats. I just have to go back and correct the production count for that. I think it's 2 goods and 2 oil, and the Germans have that remaining. No question that they need the offensive kit here. And so potentially 5 hexes. And I don't know if there are even 5 hexes that they really want specifically to claim. Here's an interesting question. So this unit, if it retreats, these units will come up and take the hex and claim the hex. And then I believe that then this hex could be also claimed, and then that unit would have to then retreat there. I believe that I'm correct about that, although I can't say for certain right now. So I'll figure that out in a moment. Can't claim that city hex. So, as we said, we're going to claim this hex. The Germans will claim that as one of their 5 attrition hexes that eliminates the unit because it has no retreat. I guess I'll make sure about that also, but I believe it has to retreat closer to its supply source. I don't think it can retreat like into Romania or something like that. So that is eliminated. Oh, no, wait. I'm doing this wrong. First, the Soviets have to pick 5 units to receive hits. And so, yeah, let's make sure that happens first. So, and they have to be upfront units, which is too bad for the Soviets. So they will pick this unit to eliminate, and that will allow the Germans to claim the empty hex, but that's probably still worth it. They'll do the same thing here. They'll get rid of this unit, which is out of supply, so it goes into the Hiwis box. So that's the second hit, and one of these units, or both, can claim this hex. I think we'll just send one. And so the Germans get a good and an oil for out of supply unit surrendering, or just a good, I think, because it was infantry. And so the only other attrition hex is, so this is claimable, and in fact, that unit will be eliminated if it is claimed. So the Soviets will go ahead and place a 3rd hit there. And really don't think we can afford to put a hit in Leningrad, because that will eliminate its ability to utilize the fortress defenses. So that's 3 hits. I think this unit should definitely take the 4th hit, because it looks like it's going to be knocked out of the fighting. And then the question is, should this unit here or this unit here that's defending Tula take the hit? And it seems like it's a bad situation either way, but they'll probably take their 5th hit against that unit there. And so that's the 5 hits. And now the Germans are able to claim up to 5 attrition hexes if they so desire, and have 5 hexes that they are able to claim. So let's let's find out what they can do. So for sure, they'll take this hex. I need to figure out about that retreat and then getting attrition again. Well, units that are disorganized or unable to retreat are destroyed if their hex is claimed. So that will lead to this unit being destroyed when the Germans claim the hex. Would it have made more sense for the Soviets to take a hit here? I can't see that being true. Well, so 7. So that's going to be 15 combat factors against this. And so that would be 15 against that. That would be 5-1. Whereas that they're starting at, whereas, plus, I think they have the surrounds. Anyway, 5-1 as opposed to 2-1 to begin, because then it would be 15-6 if that unit is organized. And I think that makes a much more likely effective defense of Odessa. So I think then, yes, indeed. So this unit will be destroyed as the Germans claim attrition hex number 1, and they will move those units there. And then the second attrition hex that they will claim is this hex here. So again, that unit will be destroyed because it is disorganized. It also has no valid retreat path. And now the question is, what units move in there? I think we move these two both, because then they're both adjacent to blitz capable units and can be part of the blitz phase. And the only other hex that the Germans could claim is this hex. And I don't know if that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to try to claim it. So the Soviets will retreat there and the Germans will advance there. And so we now have, the Germans would like to claim more, but they can't. So we have done all we can with attrition, and when we return, it will be the combat phase.